What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 85, and today we start the episode off by officially ending last season. Yes, we just won the Europa League in the last episode after beating Atletico Madrid. Very, very happy with that, our first ever European trophy of Racing Santander, and I decided to buy a global transfer network scout with some of the money we received in prize money for the season's achievements. So that's a global transfer network scout, not a youth scout, so keep that in mind. The reason I did that was quite simple. It's just because now we're getting into a stage where there are going to be regens and new gens popping up on a more regular basis, and the better scouts we have, the better chances we'll have of finding those new gens and regens without searching for them manually. So one of those scouts can go ahead and, scout the Spanish region, the Spanish country, and they can see if they can find us any promising youngsters who we might like to sign, as opposed to going through all the youngsters manually. So that would just help us, get through that a little bit quicker and have better chances of finding good ones. Still, we do end the last season. We come into the new season here with Racing Santander. Of course, for the first time this year, we will be playing Champions League football, and the board want us to reach the group stage of the Champions League. And seeing as we finished third last year, my understanding is we go straight into the group stage, so I think we can do that somehow. Domestic Cup reached a round of 32, well, that's the round you enter anyway. As for this season in the league objective, well, Racing Santander, the board want us to qualify for the Champions League. Can we do that again? Can we maintain the progression we're showing? I hope so. The budget is £23.5 million though. Now that's not too bad. I know that's, the best budget we've had so far, but I did believe we might get a little bit more than that because, it's our first season in Champions League football. Yes, our European aims are as low as they can be. Yes, our domestic cup aims are as low as they can be. But this squad, as I mentioned before, it is getting better. No one's going to deny that, but it's still not as good as some of these clubs here in Spain, obviously. So I don't know whether we can keep on qualifying for the Champions League, which I feel we need to do, to be honest, and keep on showing this progression, unless we got a really, really decent budget. 23.5 million isn't that bad, but I thought it could have been around 30 to 35, possibly 40 million at a stretch, as the board must have been pretty pleased that we exceeded all expectations last year. But maybe I'm being a little bit too naive to suggest I should have got more money. I should just be grateful for the 23.5 million pounds, right? But there you go. Still, Moy Gomez came in on a free transfer. Of course, that was the guy you signed for me last year, so thank you very much for that signing, guys. He's an 80 overall left midfielder at 24 years old. He's not actually the quickest, but he does look pretty decent, so happy he's came in, and hopefully I probably will have him on the bench, for the majority of the games, because I do like this guy, Dingwall Paco Candela, who is under a lot of transfer bids, but I do not want to sell him, as he does have the potential to be special, and I think he's got a massive, massive future for club and country. Oh, I said the name of the series, and he's going nowhere, so he's get loads of bids during the summer transfer window, but he's going nowhere. One of the first players we looked for was Iago Diaz-Miguel. Now, we had this right back on loan with us last year, and we'd like to purchase him permanently. He did pretty well for us in his debut season, to be honest, but he didn't develop as much as I was hoping. But I wouldn't mind signing him, to be honest. I thought he did a good job as a back at right back. I do have a sneaky suspicion that he might have between 80 to 85 potential, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't think Sevilla really want to let go of the guy permanently again, as he is being put back on the loan list, but we'll have to wait and see. Martinez Andrade, one of our youth players that plays in the striker position, is going out on loan, and also we see that Armeric is coming back from injury. He of course got injured right at the end of last season, which is cool. And we also had another transfer offer here, this time for Myung-Ju, and Myung-Ju is also going to leave on loan to Tenerife. What you'll see over the course of this episode, and probably the next one as well, is loads of players leaving on loan, and the reason we're doing that is because we have so many decent young talents here, but we can't obviously play them all in the first team, so I'm going to let loads of them go on loan, see if they'll develop whilst they're away from the club, and see if we want to keep him on next year for the foreseeable future. Carlos Delgado is on his way to Espanyol for £1.6 million as we accept that transfer offer, and he does indeed leave. I'm okay with that. He came in on a pre-contract. He did a pretty decent job for us in the time he was here. Now he can go and we can look for younger, better options. We also have more transfer offers. One for Martinez Felipe Depe. He's going on loan to Real Zaragoza, so another player is going to leave on loan and try and get some game time. And also Pablo Concha Salas, who we signed from Valencia last year in the January transfer window as a backup centre-back. He did a pretty decent job for us. He came for 600 grand. Atletico Madrid said to give us 2.7 million, and we say no. It's not a bad deal. We make a healthy profit on the guy, but I'd rather keep him here as a backup centre-back, as he does have, well, he seems like he's got decent potential. Christian Fernandez is going to leave. He's going to go to Numancia for £375,000, so I'm okay with that. He came in the second season. He's now a reserve winger. We don't need him, so we'll just get the money for him and thank him for his services, and now he's on his way, so there you go. And also another transfer offer, this time for Alvaro Madran. Now, I like like Madran. He's a decent holding midfielder, but he's 24 years old now. He's bad. He's really unhappy because he does have crucial first team player status. He's always complaining. So I said Deportivo, who offered us £1 million, you can have him. It's 200 grand less than his valuation. Yes, he's a decent midfielder. I don't think he's going to get much better than he is right now, though, at 71 overall. And he's always complaining. He's bringing the mood down. So I'm okay with him going. We're going to look for better prospects, better young players. And he can leave. Again, I didn't mind Madran. I thought he was actually a really decent midfielder. He played like a 74, 75 overall midfielder, really, but he can leave now. We'll look for better options, and there you go. Still following out, we put in new transfer bids. One for Keita, who I did have at PSG in my career mode series. He was really, really underrated, I felt, and I didn't use him as much as I probably should have done whilst I was with PSG. So I wouldn't mind signing the guy for Racing Santander. We could probably afford him with the budget we have right now, even though Lazio would probably want more than what he's currently valued at, but we'll have to wait and see. One of my main transfer targets, though, is this guy, Borja Lopez. Now, of course, we missed out on him in the summer transfer window last year as he went to Borussia Mönchengladbach instead. But Borussia Mönchengladbach don't seem to, have tied him down to a really long deal and don't seem like they're going to hold us to ransom for the guy. We might have to pay around double his valuation, but not an astronomical fee for a very decent young centre-back. He's only 24 years old. He is 78 overall. He would be the perfect replacement for Alban Toza. He really would. 6'4", strong, tall. He's going to be a monster in the air. He's defensively solid. I'd love to get the guy in. I really would. He's my main transfer target this year. But also Morata. Now, we missed out on Alvaro Morata last year because you guys decided to sign Jesse Rodriguez for me instead, which I was very pleased about because Rodriguez worked wonders last year. But I was always thinking during the season what could have been had we signed Morata instead. So I thought, why not put a bid for him and see what Juventus will say. Another player that's leaving the club, though, is Juanpe. He was here when we first came into Racing Santander, but he's a reserve centre back, and he'll never be anything more than that. So we'll get him off the squad, and we'll free up a space, and we'll get a bit of money for him. So I'm okay with that. And also Buena Casa looks like he might leave the club to Braunschweig. They put in a transfer offer for him. We asked for £4.5 million. They come back and said to give us £4 million, and I said, do you know what? Buena Casa's been here since the very beginning, but he's 70 overall. He's 22 years old. I'm sure he could possibly get a little bit better, but I was really considering that, and as you'll see in just a moment's time, I do actually go ahead and accept it, and I'll explain in a bit more detail why I did in just a moment's time. Marine Sai is one of the first ever youth prospects we promoted from our academy. He's also going to leave the club permanently to Mallorca for 325 grand. He's a 65 overall attacking midfielder now at 19 years old. He's okay, but I don't remember him having too high potential, and I don't believe he's going to get too much game time, so we'll just cash in on him, make a profit since when we signed the guy through the academy, make a profit on what we paid for him to get him into the academy, and then sign him permanently, and he can leave, and I'm okay with that because I think there are better options out there. But Morata, Juventus accept a transfer offer for Morata, and that is why I decided to accept a bid of £4 million for Braunschweig. The reason being is because the bid for Morata was just £9 million. Buena Casa's bid was £4 million, and if Morata comes in, the game time Buena Casa will get is going to be very limited because he'll be fourth, possibly even fifth choice striker. So Buena Casa, he's been here since the very beginning, but I think it's time for Buena Casa to leave now because, quite frankly, he just... we sent him out on loan last year, and he does seem as though his potential, if nothing else, is going to be stuttering. I wouldn't say it's locked. I wouldn't say he's never going to reach the heights he probably could hit, which is low 80s, if you got enough game time. But the problem is he won't get enough game time, and there's just no point in keeping a player here if he's not going to play and maximise his potential. So Buena Casa, well, he's been here since the start, but now he's gone. So it's a bit of a shame. It's a bit like an end of an era, to be honest, that Buena Casa's been sold to Braunschweig, as Juanpe also goes to Rayo Vallecano for £550,000, as Saiz goes to Mallorca as well, as we continue the exodus here at Racing Santander. But I felt like it was necessary, really, because he was just going to be really, really unhappy that he wouldn't play any games. He was going to get completely wasted here. At least now he's got a chance to go play some first team football, and who knows, maybe one day he will reach his potential. We could possibly re-sign him, and touch wood, one day we'll manage Spain and we can call him up to the team. You never know. Still, he's gone, and there you go. Also, Borussia Mönchengladbach said the deal for Borja Lopez was unacceptable, as did Lazio for Keita. So I said to Lazio, forget Keita, we're never going to be able to afford him, so just forget about it. Well, we could afford him, but I don't want to pay the money they're asking for, basically. And we also had our first pre-season friendly as well. Yeah, of course, 3 pre-season friendlies at the start of the season as we took on Kane and the French side here. And to be honest, you know, the main thing for me in pre-season friendlies is not the result. It's just making sure players don't get injured. And 13 minutes in, one of our players got injured, Malouda. So pretty annoying. To be honest, I've been thinking about releasing him from his contract anyway, as he hasn't developed. And now he's out for 4 months. I probably will end up releasing him because it's just a bit of a waste of wages and a bit of a waste of time really keeping him here because he won't develop or anything. But we'll have to wait and see. He's injured though, and there you go. And also, as you can see, well, you can see it there. I was going to wait till the end, but you could already see it. One of the big headline signings this summer transfer window, I'm sure we might make one more, is going to be Alvaro Morata, because Morata did accept his contract and he is going to come in for £9 million. So I am very, very happy with that. We were going to sign him last year, but you guys said no, sign Jesse Rodriguez instead. I was very happy with that, but now, you know, we're going to see what Morata could have done for us last season. We're going to see if he's going to be good, go straight into our first team, and you'll probably drop Perez to the bench, and Alvaro Morata becomes our first big signing of the summer transfer window for £9 million. So that is going to end the episode, guys. So as always, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please do leave a like. If you don't like episodes of only transfer business, then I do apologise, but as per usual, every single season, the first episode of the new season is all transfers and no games. But regardless, thanks for watching the video. I really do hope you did enjoy it. If you did enjoy the episode, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Club and Country very soon.